around the age of 14 to above. Honestly, this works for any age. You're gonna have to put in a little work, and you need some money to start these things, but overall, they are basically ways to make money as a teen and still be able to do the things you love, like participate in sports, participate in things like outside school activities, rather than like just straight a job or going to college in this scenario. Of course, I would highly suggest you still do go to college. These are not surefire ways of making money. They are just ways that you can start earning passive income as a teen. So let me start off with the first and foremost. Actually, before I start anything, the gameplay in the back you see is Battlefield 42 or 2042, my bad. And two things about that. One, my Wi-Fi is awful. As you can see in the left corner, things will just constantly be popping up, and it's just because I'm literally running this on my phone hotspot, so it's not good. But also, the gameplay is pretty bad. I'm not very good at the game, so just ignore that part. But let's get straight into the meat of the problem. So the main thing that you want to do is make money, and to do that you do at first need money. Money is very important to have to start these things, but I mean, honestly, it can be your parents' money. Let's be honest. If your parents helped you buy a computer, you can use that. If you don't have a computer, you can use a laptop. But I would highly suggest, since this is for teenagers, I would highly suggest getting just a job and just working for a couple months around minimum wage will get you just enough to buy the things you need and to work with it. So first off, we're going to start with the one that I currently do. This is my favorite of the bunch, and it is the cryptocurrency mining. So mining cryptocurrency. This is a surefire way of making money. It is very, very, very low risk, and I think that's what people don't understand. The only way that you would lose money on a project like this is if two things lost value. One, graphics cards lost value, which is very, very unlikely to happen, and cryptocurrency loses value, which is even more unlikely to happen. The fact of the matter is, mining things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, yes, Ethereum and Bitcoin can crash, but that's just sort of like one of those things where it doesn't really matter if it crashes, because you can simply, by a download of a new program, you can switch what cryptocurrency you're mining. Like, I think I currently have like $7 in Ethereum, because I just found Bitcoin to be easier and more efficient to mine for me, and around $130 of mined cryptocurrency. Now, I haven't currently paid off my rig, but then again, I've only been mining for around 2 to 3 months. So 2 to 3 months, $130 is pretty nice. And it can always be improved. I mean, it's one of those things where you can literally use your own computer. Actually, it doesn't even have to be your own computer. You can use your mom's computer, you can use your dad's computer, and it doesn't hurt the computer. It is safe, it is like reputable, and you can make money off of it. Now, the only problem with this one, the program I'm going to suggest to you, the one wallet that you actually withdraw the Bitcoin requires you to be 18 or older, so you would need a parent to hook up their last 4 digits of their social security to the website. But it's Coinbase, so if you've never heard of Coinbase, it's pretty reputable, but that just has the same thing to deal with confirming that you're like actually a person, and like just basically a bunch of government stuff since you're dealing with money. It's one of those things where cryptocurrency is kind of the Wild West currently, and a lot of banks have said this. I've personally gotten like guidance from banks to see how I could invest in this type of stuff, and they all say that they just don't do it because it's the Wild West of the banking world. So it's a really new thing, and it's really popping off right now. For example, I think it might be Venezuela. It's somewhere in South America. They just made their official currency Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's not disappearing for a while, and I don't think it will anytime soon. And even if it does, once again, you have things like Ethereum, you have things like that simply just allow you to kind of switch over. If something loses its value, you can always switch to another cryptocurrency. So I'm going to start off with how to do this. First off, you're going to need a graphics card of any kind. So currently, I have one rig upstairs that's running I think it's a 1060. It's terrible. It makes me 50 cents a day. And then I have my 3060 Ti, which makes me around $2.50 or $4, give or take. It's in between that range. And what you're going to want to do is find out how to overclock your GPU. That's a main thing. Overclocking your GPU helps for mining because it just makes the hash rate go faster, which is how fast you mine the Bitcoin. And that is why, like, people will overclock their GPUs with MSI Afterburner. That's a great one. That's what I use. And it adds maybe like 50 cents, but that's still 50 cents a day adds up fast. That's like $200 a year. It's a good amount of money. Or maybe less than that, but it doesn't really matter. So that's the one that I currently use. This one is a very good method. It's very, very, very good to make money with, and it does help. It's interesting. If I do the math, I think it'd take me maybe a year and a half to pay off my entire PC. And I don't just use this for mining. I use it for video games. I use it for like a bunch of different stuff for schoolwork. So this computer I bought by working a job. It cost me around $1,500. Actually, yeah, $1,500 I think. And I had $800 on my own, so I was able to buy this with that money. And I basically kept saving up until I had enough to buy it, and then once I bought it, then I started mining. So I've already paid off $130 of that. So it's definitely worth it to just try this on a PC at home. If you play video games at all, you should try this. I highly suggest it. It's very, very, very easy to do. All you have to do, like, there's multiple websites and stuff that'll do it, but I recommend NiceHash. NiceHash is really easy to set up. If you have a good graphics card, you can do the NiceHash quick miner, whatever they call it, and you simply just click on the program and it starts up. And with the other one, the NiceHash miner, which is just the normal one, all you have to do is click a button, it'll benchmark some stuff, download some stuff, and it'll just start running, which is actually phenomenal. It's so easy. I would highly suggest anybody with a computer to do it. NiceHash is really nice, and it's really easy to do that type of stuff on. Now, there's one problem with NiceHash. NiceHash is interesting because there's two problems with it. One, it's not the fastest program, but I mean, it's like the difference between 20 and 30 cents. It's not that big of a deal. And then NiceHash also, it is reputable currently, but I mean, with dabbling in this stuff, you always have to run the risk. That's why NiceHash doesn't take responsibility for the miners you download, because NiceHash basically like handles your money. It allows you to basically get the money, and the miner actually mines the crypto. So they're two different things. The miner is actually doing the work. NiceHash is just managing the miner and managing where the funds go. So that's basically how that works. You can also mine Ethereum. T-Rex is a really good one with Etherminer. Those ones are really good, and yeah, those ones help a lot. I have a MetaMask account for that, so yeah. But next, I'm just gonna go over some like sort of history about it. Not really history, just explaining what it is, because this is the problem with this stuff, is a lot of people just don't really understand what this is, and they don't really have like the time to research it. So I'm just gonna give you a quick description, quick description of what cryptocurrency really is, why it's actually liable, and why this actually will never be a non-profitable endeavor. So let's talk about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is kind of like the holy grail right now. You've seen Elon Musk buy Bitcoin, Saquon Barkley and Tom Brady. They're both big in Bitcoin. I think Saquon's taking all of his money in Bitcoin now. And just those little things, plus the one country literally making it their currency, their official currency, those things tell me that Bitcoin's going to be around for a long time. And it's just going to keep going up in value. But here's the main thing you can't get locked on. You can't get locked on the fact, oh, it's good. You keep saying it's going to keep going up in value, so I'm going to put down my money and I'm going to invest in some Bitcoin. That is not what I'm suggesting to do. I suggest you do not invest in Bitcoin. Investing in Bitcoin opens up the possibility for loss. Yes, there is a possibility you will gain a lot of money, but why do that when you can just mine the crypto? Instead of spending $1,500 on buying Bitcoin and then maybe losing half of that, you could instead buy a 3060 or a 3080 or 3090 and start mining that cryptocurrency, and you can basically make your money back, make the money back for the actual PC, and make more on top of that. And you can keep building to it. So for example, I pay off my PC, then I get $1,500 more after that. Boom, I just got another one and I've doubled my profits. I've went from $4 to $8 a day. Then I keep going, I can double it again. Then keep doubling, and the more you put into it, yes, the more you're gonna have to pay back, but the faster you're gonna pay that back. And technically speaking, even if it takes the same amount of time to pay it back, it's the difference between paying back $1,500 or $1.5 million. And if you don't understand what I mean, you're gonna be making a ton of money if you put $1.5 million into cryptocurrency mining. Now that's not what we're talking about since we're doing money for teens, but if you actually turn this into a job, it could make you a lot of money, and a lot of money pretty fast. I think with 1.3 you could make too much. I don't even know. I can't even do the math right now. But you'd be making, I think, over $100 a day. Way more than $100 a day, actually. You might be making $4,000 a day. I think so. So, even if it takes you 3 years to pay back that graphics card, or the graphics cards, you would have to have multiple for it to be 1.4 million. You're literally getting $4,000 a day for mining. So even if it takes you that long to pay it back, so what? You're not paying it back in 1 to 2 to 3 years. You have this money that you can spend on other things. It's like giving yourself an allowance. You're taking this money and you're giving yourself an allowance every day. And eventually you'll pay it back. Just take half of what you get every day and put it back towards the mine. And you will make it back in less than 5 years. I guarantee it. And then at that point, you're making nearly $1 million a year. And that's all it is. It's as simple as that. And you're getting your money payout every single day. That's what the big thing is. You don't just, how do I say this? You don't just get the money as a one-time thing like a normal job. You don't get it once every year. You get it every single day, which is really nice in case you're a big spender and you like spending a bunch of money. It helps you kind of regulate yourself and save a little bit more. So now that we've got all of the nitty-gritty stuff, I'm once again going to go back to explaining what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is a series of kind of mathematical equations that confirm you don't really need to know what Bitcoin is. It's a bunch of code. That's what it is. It's a bunch of code that's given a value through people wanting it. So it's the same thing with Yeezys. Yeezys don't have value if people don't want them. Same thing with NFTs, which is what we're going to talk about next video if this gets enough likes. If nobody wants them, they have no value, technically, because it's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by actual money. But then again, the same thing can be said for any currency in the world. I mean, if nobody wants American, like, money, then there's no point in having it. That's what gives it its value. Otherwise, it's just paper because it's not backed by gold anymore. So cryptocurrency is one of those things that, like, yes, technically, if every single person in the world said, hey, I don't want Bitcoin anymore, Bitcoin would drop. Bitcoin would be worthless. But you have to think about the people who have spent millions of dollars on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies like that. They're not going to just say, oh, I don't want this anymore. That's not how that works. It's going to be around for a very long time. I can tell you that. So getting in on this as soon as possible is, like, the best thing to do. And basically what we're doing as miners is we are being employed to work out transactions, to be working out these certain things that happen. Basically, when somebody takes a Bitcoin and they gives it to another person, what miners do is they confirm that the one Bitcoin goes to another person and the other person doesn't have 2 Bitcoins. Basically meaning, if I give you $1 at Starbucks and take coffee, I can't take that $1 back. That's basically what the computers are doing. In other words, you're basically just renting your computer out to this Bitcoin. It's not a company, it's a thing. You're just renting your computer out, your computer specs, and getting money for that. And honestly, you can do this when you're gaming, you can do this when you're at home, you can do this when you're away, and it doesn't harm the PC. Leaving your computer on for 24 hours a day doesn't actually harm the PC. And even if the PC GPU crashes, it's still not that big. As long as your CPU does not overheat, which is why I highly suggest kind of not laying away from the whole CPU mining, then your computer should be more than good. CPU mining is a little bit different because it makes, like, a lot less money than GPU mining. So I would highly suggest just doing GPU mining. It's a lot more profitable and a lot easier. So let's get back to the main focus. How can this help you as a teen? Well, I mean, coming from a teen that's doing this currently, it has helped me. I'm making money and I'm not working. I still do sports after school. I still hang out with friends. I still, like, play video games. I mean, do homework. I'm not spending time on this every single day being like, oh, I gotta check if my thing's mining. No, I'm setting it up. I have an app on my phone, and whenever I get bored, I just click on the app to see if it's actually working. And if it's not, I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll just fix it when I get home. And this has led me to make $130 in cryptocurrency. And you might think, oh, well, you've only made $130, and you have to pay back a $1,000 PC. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take time to pay back. Money doesn't grow out of the ground or grow on trees, as people would say. It does take a second to basically build back up. But after you build back up, every single thing you get from that is profit. And you already have a computer. Even if you don't, then you buy a computer and you play video games on the computer. You use it for other things. You're simply just adding another thing into the equation of that. It's like, why wouldn't you do it if you already have a PC? It's free money at this point. I mean, I don't really know what else to say for that. It's just free money. And so this 3060 that I paid money for is really nice because now I can play video games in super high resolution and I can do all this stuff. Even if my Wi-Fi doesn't work, I can do all this stuff and I have a 3060 to do it with. And the other thing is with Wi-Fi, it doesn't even really require that much Wi-Fi. So you're doing all this stuff and, like, it requires 0 to none Wi-Fi, and it's just really nice. So with that, I'm probably just gonna wrap it up in a little package just for you. Happy Thanksgiving. By this video coming out, it should be like 1 or 2 more days before Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoy.
your Thanksgiving break if you have one. If you don't, just I hope you guys enjoy Thanksgiving. But let me wrap this up a little bit. Cryptocurrency, the way you do it, NiceHash. Research NiceHash. That's how you do it on your PC. NiceHash is really easy to set up and really easy to do all that stuff. Second, what is cryptocurrency? It is a non-tangible, I don't know really the word for it. It's not given value unless somebody gives it value. But there's rich people already invested into it, so they're not going to let it go. What are you using your computer for? Your computer is being basically rented out. It's as simple as that. You can still play video games, kinda. It depends on how hard you're running it. But you can still do everything you can while you're mining, and as long as you're not mining too hard. And then finally, is it profitable? This is going to be the last thing. Is it profitable? Yes, it is profitable. Yes, it is good. As long as cryptocurrency, the entirety of cryptocurrency, I'm not just talking about Bitcoin, I'm not just talking about Ethereum or Dogecoin, I'm talking about every single cryptocurrency that exists out there. If all of them lose value and your graphics cards lose value, then yes, it will not be profitable, but currently it is profitable. So thank you guys big time for watching. I really enjoyed making this video. This is something I'm very interested in and I'm very much like, and I'm just really happy to finally be like explaining this. So yeah, thank you guys very much, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.